Hello friends, today I want to talk about Maven, and we will also discuss about why you would need Maven, how you can get maximum benefit off of Maven, why would any company need Maven, and then we will talk about how you can get your machine set up to use Maven. First of all, Maven is a free tool, so feel free to utilize maximum features of Maven. Next thing is, so Maven is a build tool. Build is something like that you are trying to compile your source code, or you are trying to run the test, or you are trying to basically have your folder that download all of the jar files, and these are all considered to be in the build. So when you work in the project that has multiple team members that are trying to they are writing codes frequently, and also they are doing code check-in to the server, and your other team member has to pull the latest code, and then anything that is not part of the Maven is going to fail, or you would have to manually go configure them. That's why the Maven will work as the server level, that it will download every dependent jar files for you. So that's why it has been very popular, that you don't have to do anything like manual human integration anymore. So that just automates your process of getting the sources of the internet. And Also, next thing, Maven integrates very well with Jenkins. Jenkins is some integration tool that will run on the server, and Jenkins is, there are so many things that you can do with the Jenkins. You can do builds, or you can run the tests, and many more things. So here let's go with how you can get benefit off of Maven, and why you would need Maven, something like Maven. So first of all, let's see, this is my kind of starter project. All I just created this. If you see, first thing here at the top is a J, that means it's a Java project, so which is not the Maven configured. And next thing, when you create this sort of project manually, going from file and then project like that, then the problem is that you'll have to configure everything. So you will have basically just blank of this, and you are required to create every package and then classes inside this. But the problem is, you just have one thing. If you need more, you have to do manually, right? And there are more chances that you might be missing many valuable stuff when you do like this. So then they introduced this Maven. So what Maven is doing is, it is going to, will show that pretty much pretty quickly. Before doing that, let's check what you require. So first of all, if you want to make sure, Maven is even configured in your machine. So to do that, you would go into command prompt, and then in the command you would just write mv. In the command prompt you would just write mvn and hyphen v for version, mvn for Maven. Okay, and you'll just hit enter, and then and then you see that nothing other messages come that says it's not recognized command or so. So it is basically looking for Maven version in my computer, and pretty soon it will give me some output. Okay, so it found finally the Maven. I have this response. So this says these are the Maven version, and this is the location I have where the Maven is at. So, and I have other folders too on the Java home. That's we'll talk about that in a separate video. So for here I have a Maven. When I did Maven V, it gave me response. That means Maven is set up there. So I shouldn't be worried if that's your condition. If you don't have anything else, then it is not responding this, or says not recognized command. For example, you say like that, then you might see something like this. Then then you might need to set up your Maven, so which means your computer is not set up with Maven. So here I have created some document that help you what you need to do. So first of all, I have this site. It's Maven Apache org download, so you can even go through internet and find this. So all I do is Maven for Windows, or if you have a Mac, it's pretty much the same thing. And then you would go to the anywhere, any one of these are all from the Maven. So let's go through that, and you go through this. It's a download Maven Apache. This is the site you will go to, and there are a couple things you need to go. So scroll down to the bottom, and then you see 4 of these links. So these 2 bottoms are the sources, so you shouldn't be worried on this. You would require this binary. Okay, if you are a Mac user, then you would have to go through the tar.zz archive, so which means you would click here. If you are the Windows user, then you would click the second line, which is this. You need a binary zip. Okay, so Mac user uses this, and Windows user uses the second one, and the first link, not this. So when you click this, what happens, folks, is then it will go into your download folder, and then let me bring up my download folder here. 1 second. And then when you go into the download folder like this, you will see Maven downloaded like this. I have a version 3.5.0, so when you download 3.5.2, you'll see 2 here, and you'll get that in the zip file. And you would basically just double click this, open that up, and then it will get extracted. So when you double click here, you will see the extracted folder. So this entire folder, I would recommend copy the whole thing and then put it inside the C drive, where you create a brand new folder. So in my condition, I have created a Java resources folder inside C drive, and I basically copied the whole thing here. So that's what I did here. So let's go next round. So once you get that downloaded and put in everything there, then now we need to be kind of configuring these things. Basically, where we need to set up to point that directory where the Maven is at. So to do that, I have another set of things here to show you. So I would go here once you download this, and then you go to this zip file, and then you copy that, put it into your drive wherever you require. I would recommend write something called Java resources folder, so that it is all Java. The resources files would be there, so Maven would be one. So inside that folder, put that Maven folder that you just copied or extracted from zip file. And then once you put that, so that will be the location of your Maven. And then you would right click onto your computer, my computer, and then go into properties. Okay, look at these steps carefully. So right click into my computer, click properties, click advanced tab. Okay, click environment variables. So here advanced tab means advanced system settings, because I have a Windows 10. You click here, and then once you click there, you will see environment variables like this icon. This button you have to click here. Okay, so my computer, right click properties, and then click advanced tab. So in my case, I would go like this, and I would right click here to my computer, and then I go properties, and then I'll have something called like this. I'll click system settings, advanced system settings, and then I see something like this. Because I have a Windows 10, it has a different look, but Windows 10 is even much easier. So what I would do is I would just go ahead into the second panel here, and I would just click new, and then I will type in M2 home, Maven M2 home, and then I'll give the location where that file is, so I can browse that directory also. So when I click into browse directory button, I go to C drive, I point my Java resources, and then I see this Maven, that folder that I copied. I'll get this piece, not the bin yet. I'll get the whole folder, and then I hit OK. And in my condition, I already have that. I won't do that again. So you will do this, okay? And then next round is when you go, there's a path. This one path, not the path ext, just the path. Just be careful, this contains so many files, all different applications uses this, so you need to be very careful when you use paths. So this is a Windows 10, so it's different than Windows 7 or earlier version, but you would click here, click edit, okay? And if it's a Windows 10, this is how you would see it. So you would just go, because I have already here, so you would just do new, okay? And then you would type in percentage m2 underscore home, and then percentage slash bin. So what this means is it is pointing that Maven directories bin folder, okay? That's what you should do. And once you do that, you just hit OK. And if it is Windows 7 or earlier, when you hit here edit is going to point you to different path where you would have to have not like this, but you'd have everything into same line. So when it's on the same line, so just watch here. If you see Java path, there's a semicolon, right? And then another C drive program file, so another thing starts, right? So within, right after this semicolon ends, you'd have to write the path where Maven is stored at. So when you type in Maven, you would type in with, I will show you that later, and then you would just hit OK and you're all set. So when you go that in details, I have a screenshot. So once you get to environment variables, Maven path, so this is how you would edit. If it's a window 10, so you would first add Maven home m2 home, and then you give the location, okay? You can also do so by clicking browse directory and point where the Maven folder is. And then next round you would come to path, what I just mentioned. Once you've done this, so this step is basically telling that my Maven directory is alias of m2 underscore home, which means my Maven directory. If you're looking for Maven directory, when you call m2 underscore home, I will be able to tell you this is where it's located at, okay? And when you go into step 3, you go to path, okay? You click the path, edit, and then you would do new, and in the new you simply type this and hit OK. If it is Windows 7, when you go to this path, you would click edit, and as soon as you edit, I would recommend go all the way to the end of this line, this blue line, all the way to the end. That will end with a semicolon, okay? This semicolon, if you see Java path semicolon C, just like that. So end one will have a semicolon. After that, just write the same thing here and also end with a semicolon, and then hit OK, okay? Be careful, if you put that in the wrong spot, that may crash other systems too. So just be careful. You need to put that after semicolon ends, and then put your path like this, percentage Maven underscore home percentage backslash bin, and then do semicolon, and then put that at the end of this path if it is 7 or earlier. If it is 10, it is easier, so you would just click new, and then you type this in, percentage Maven m2 underscore home percentage bin, and then hit OK. Once you hit that OK, then you may be able to set up everything. My best recommendation is just reboot your machine and then go into command prompt and then type mvn underscore v, just like we did here. So mvn underscore not underscore hyphen v, okay? So that will give me where the Maven is located, and this time I won't see this cannot recognize type of error anymore. So it should give me the path where my Maven is located. So that let's give a quick second. Okay, so your Maven is set up there. So let's do one thing in the STS. If you see my other video, you know how to create a new project, but when you want to create new project with the Maven, you would do this. So right click, new. So here is you would just, instead of Java project, you would just do project and then select Maven. Okay, here's a one of the folder Maven. Open that up. Okay, and because there are a couple things you can do here, because you want to create a Maven project, all you do is just select a Maven project here, Maven project, and then hit next. Okay, now what you do is you would come into this when you do next, and then you have these options by default. So I would just create a simply project, and I would check this box, and I can use the default workspace location, or I can just get this, browse, and then define my own. So here in my case I would just do some here selenium, and then I would write my Maven, something like that, and my Maven project, and then I just hit OK. So here next, so I need a group ID. Group ID is basically what you want your project to be, so identified as. So I'll just write this as a Selenium. And then artifact ID is basically, so artifact ID is just a name, nothing but that what the Maven recognize that it's a file or a jar. So I'll just write this as a automation, and then I'll let everything else just be default, and I click finish. So now you see it is creating me the project, and first thing you would see this as a M instead of J, it's M automation. So this is the Maven project it is building me, and you can see that it is being downloading that files, and it has already started creating couple folders. So these all things just is happening. So let that load, it is taking little bit more time. So if you see here now, it looks like it is almost done, and you can see there are so many packages already, the folders are there, and then you see there is a JRE system library, which is the library that sets like by default, and then there are JRE libraries like Java runtime environment. So those are coming from JRE, where the application runs. When you go here, there's some source folders, and as opposed to how the Java would look, this is how you would be creating everything manually. So basically you get nothing, everything is blank. Okay, so if you come here, automation, it creates all different folders. So what do you do here? So main folder is where you would have all of the main classes, Java classes, which are like which could be some controllers, or which could be some utils, or based on what your project is. So if you have anything in automation related, you would write something kind of utilities related folders. And if you come to test is, and there's a main resources are basically where you would keep the resources related files. And if you come to test is where you would write all of the test cases, all test classes, all testing framework, where basically it resides to. So that's how this has been structured, and Maven helps you create everything off of there. And so one more thing you want to see is there's a pom.xml. This is the main file that Maven actually plays with. So pom is basically page object model, and also here you can give some lines of code that will help downloading the file for you. It will build the whole thing, it will write that all, it will download everything of the internet, the jar files. So now you see here, when you come to so once you see this pom.xml file, uh, you will just basically see blank. So what we want to do is how we can add some jars. So first thing is you need to know is to add the jars, you have to have some tag which is called dependencies. Okay, and as soon as you hit enter, so this goes here. So inside the dependencies you are supposed to enter some dependency tag. Okay, so it should be dependency, like that. So we want to put some jar files off of the internet that is not part of the Java. So let's go to internet, and here, and all jar files you can find inside the Maven, or you can just search with the Google. So let's say I want to install Selenium WebDriver. So it will show me here Maven information. It will show me the pom.xml dependency injection. So here if you see, it will show me what this is. So I will just copy this. Okay, so which is Selenium Java, and I will go back here and I'll put that inside the dependencies. Oh, it did not copy, it looks like. Okay, it did. So so this has that. I don't need this, so that's one thing. So now when you see, this has already downloaded, this has started downloading this Selenium jar file. So you can see in the bottom that is a green scrolling thing that is doing that now. And if you see pom.xml, it is in red, which will come back to normal. I would like to change this to the version, different version. 3.7 is most latest. I will just put previous version, which is 3.4.0, and then I'll just save. And because I have a Maven in place, as soon as I save, it will start downloading that for me. Okay, so let's give that a few minutes and it will start downloading them. I would also like to add a server, Selenium server, so which should be this. And I would like to add some JUnit. Also, JUnit is what you would run test against. And I would like to add, test.ng. So there are 4 files I need to download here. So I don't download this off of internet. I can find them on the internet, but I don't want to do that. I want Eclipse to handle that. So I just simply did this, and all I do is I save my project. So it is building my workspace. Now if you see here, there's a new folder came in, like Maven Dependencies. It wasn't there earlier. So now when you see here, it has only JRE, the one that you manually created, but if you go to Maven, it has a Maven Dependencies. So it has all of these files that you actually looked for. So everything that you downloaded here, these and the files, every Java class is related to those, and all those are inside here. So for example, you want to check this, there's entire new Java project, right? So these are written for you, so you are just utilizing those features. Okay, that's why we need this type of dependency feature. Now let's do one quick thing. Let me just create one quick class just to test this feature is working. So new class, so you would create class just like nothing happened. My first JUnit. Okay, okay, first JUnit. Here I'm not doing anything main method. I'm now running the JUnit, so I'll just write add test. That is the JUnit test. So public method is just like method public void my. Okay, so when I hover over there, it says import JUnit. JUnit came from when I actually downloaded that. So here if I do this, it is just going to run fine. If I copy this into my other project, just see what it does. Let's say I'm just going to put that here. Here's my method, right? Public void array. So if I want to put test, and you see here it says add JUnit 4 library to the build path. It does not let me add import automatically because it is not there, right? So you cannot use this, so you have to add that into the build path. So when you go to this one, however, all it gave me is options to just import. I didn't have to do anything, so this was already inside this Maven dependencies. So if I want to run this and just try to run, I have options differently now. So I would say run as, usually you would see run as Java application because you had a main method, but this time you have only JUnit test. That's the one you see, and you would click JUnit because this test is part of the JUnit. So you simply click there and you have a different output now. So that's what it is. This is my test, this is the output I had. And so friends, so the main purpose of this class today is just to show you how you would configure your Maven and to demo that your Maven configuration went well, and how you can set that dependencies through the prompt.xml with couple lines of code that you didn't have to download, and system will download for you. If there's any steps that you have not understood clearly, please repeat this video and pause and try to do that, and then so that you can have clear understanding what this is actually meant to do. I'm going to put these dependencies in my descriptions so that you don't have to just simply copy and paste from there, and then you should be fine. But remember, this file that I put should be inside the project. Okay, it should be just totally inside the project on its own like that. Okay, thank you. So please continue to check my videos, and we'll be uploading more videos related to Selenium going forward. Thank you very much, and thank you very much everyone for going to my videos and sharing and subscribing them. Thank you.